Innovation is an output of creativity. I guess innovation is that strike of creativity that drives some fundamental improvement to a process or a product. So I think they're fairly entwined.
For me, innovation is those moments where you just do something fundamentally different, and you have that, my God, that's incredible. You know, that's innovation for me. And I think you only get to that level of innovation if you've got that level of creativity. Take that creativity away, and all you're doing is you're just turning up the dial to make it slightly better or slightly more efficient or whatever it might be.
In terms of measuring innovation, we have a target, and on a 6-weekly cycle, each of the business unit leads will present back to the business the best idea that their team has come up with. And what that means is it really drives and encourages us to find time and make time for our teams to think about problems that they faced, and so they can come up with some innovative thoughts on how to solve them. On top of that, we provide people with time on a quarterly basis, what we call a skunk works, to just do something interesting.
Microsoft has a formal process and an informal process. It goes back a long time, actually, to sort of Bill Gates' time with Microsoft. 2 times a year, they have this thing called Think Week. And back in the day where Bill was still working 100% on Microsoft, basically what would happen is people would submit papers of ideas that they'd had, and he would read these papers, and the ones that he liked the best would then get funded, and they would turn into projects. And that drove this really lovely cycle of innovation inside the organisation. And it wasn't about financial recognition. It was about kudos, you know, my stuff's got, Bill's chose it, brilliant, you know. Now, Bill's been gone a while, but we still have Think Week, so we still have this heartbeat. And so I think you've got that environment, that culture, where innovation is anticipated, both by team leaders, but equally by team members.
Cloudreach tries to operate our reward structure in I guess a googly way, you could call it. We don't want to just do an annual review once a year and say, congratulations, 11.5 months ago you did something really interesting. I can just about remember it. Maybe you can remember it too. Here's a cash reward. So instead we look at other ways of incentivizing people. And that's everything from sending a number of people to Las Vegas later in the year for an Amazon event. I myself went to San Francisco for a Google event earlier in the year. Equally, we offer spot bonuses in the form of both cash and share options to people that do deliver with good ideas. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to turn it into a successful commercial product, but it does mean that you've come up with the idea.
I think creativity is important too, whether you're in the NHS, public sector or private sector. Creativity for me is about doing something different and doing what you believe in and making sure that what you are doing meets the needs of the patient.
Dealing with thinking soldiers here, so we have a scheme called GEMS, which we get financial rewards for giving out good ideas. A classic example, which I'm sure everyone's heard of, is when we had the Harriers on the aircraft carrier. We had the ski jump at the end, that somebody had come up with that, a naval officer, engineer, and realised you can save a lot of fuel if you give it that ramp.
Like most organisations, we have staff awards, we have Employee of the Month. We ask patients and staff and volunteers to nominate somebody who's gone that extra mile. We have something called the Gurney Awards, which are awards for innovation. Now, we don't reward financially. You know, people get a voucher if they're an Employee of the Month. There is something about working in the public sector that means people want to make a difference. At the risk of sounding like Miss World, that's what drives most people, and having the recognition of that is important. And also just saying thank you, so that they know that we care as much about the good and the innovation as well as the things that don't go right.
Get more from the Open University. Check out the links on screen now.